Okay, check this out. Some sort of science experiment here. I have these, oh, there it goes. These water bottles left in my car, and if you shake them, they instantly freeze. Weird. Let's try one more here. Oh, look at that. It's frozen now. I'm sure someone understands how this works. If there's someone sciencey, would please leave a comment in the comment section on what is happening here. Hey you all, and good morning. Carpetbagger here, coming to you live from the north. More specifically, we are currently in Valparaiso, Indiana, the town I grew up in. We're gonna head southwest towards St. Louis. The Trans World Haunted House Show is this weekend, so I'm gonna begin making my way there. We may drive all the way there tonight. We may not. I just haven't decided yet. Everything's been kind of up in the air, kind of trying to figure out my pathway to St. Louis. I did want to acknowledge a few things that have been coming up in the comments section. Just, you know, a little here and there. I've seen some people mention some things. The registration on my rental car is not expired. I know some people noted that the date on the corner of, and I'll go ahead and show it here. The date on the corner of the car appears that it expired on the 23rd. That is not the case. I called the rental car company and say, yeah, what's up with this? Why is there an expired date on my car? So it's kind of a complex, boring answer, but this car has a Texas license plate, but the car was based out of Ohio. So, because of that, the rental cars have a permanent license plate. They don't need to keep getting new license plates. So even though it's a Texas license plate, it's considered an Ohio car, and therefore does not have to get Texas inspection stickers, and that's what that is. It's a Texas inspection sticker. Ohio does not require that same level of inspection. It's a completely different system, so therefore it's an expired Texas inspection sticker, but you don't need to have an active Texas inspection sticker in Ohio. So I'm all caught up. I called them, talked to them. They said, don't worry about it. You know, your plate is fine. The registration plate will be good forever. Registration's good, so no worries about that. Also, some people left some comments in the state fair. Some people left some comments in the World's Fair, the Sunsphere video. Some people left some comments about World's Fairs, and I wondered out loud why we don't have World Fairs anymore, and how I wish we had another World Fair. Well, it turns out, this isn't guaranteed, but we may be having a World's Fair in 2027 in Minnesota. The city of Bloomington, Minnesota has put in a bid to host a World Fair in 2027. It's not a sure thing, but the process apparently is still rolling. So we may have a World's Fair in 2027 here in the United States. So let me promise you guys right now, if I'm still alive in 2027, if I don't die, or some other thing that disables me and does not allow me to go to the World Fair, if none of that happens, I will be at the World's Fair. I guess that was kind of a long way of saying that I'm going to do my best to be at the World's Fair. But I wanted to check out something really quick here before I left Valparaiso. I just wanted to check on the local museum really quick. Here is the old Porter County Jail. You can see the old jail cells right here, but this is actually now the Porter County Museum. So let's pay them a visit. Head to the front of the old jailhouse here. It says actually free admission, open today, but I guess tells us to head across the street. There's two buildings here. This is, I guess, the new added extension right here, the Porter County Museum building. Here we have a German canteen. A World War I soldier from Valparaiso brought this back from Germany. And then we have some space crackers that a local astronaut brought back home with him from his astronaut training. Now, this is probably the most beloved artifact at the Porter County Museum. This is a dog known as Daisy. This dog died in was hit by a car in the 1930s, but she was beloved and preserved by a taxidermist, and the family kept her until the 1974, where they donated her to the museum, and she became a beloved addition to the museum and was actually restored in 2017 when a taxidermist kind of gave her a restoration job to make her look a little nicer. It says the dog's original name, according to this plaque, the dog's original name was Chisholm, but once she was donated to the museum, they renamed her Daisy. In the back here, we have the mastodon section. I have some mastodon bones, including this giant mastodon jawbone. Look at those big mastodon teeth. And look at this, I was given a free Daisy button. They had some buttons on the different artifacts, and I had lovely old Chisholm, or Daisy as she's now called. They did say that the old jailhouse section of the museum is being renovated. That's why they're not using it right now. So they said they're getting rid of lead paint and other things to restore it, and we'll be moving back into the jailhouse. And when I'm staying at my mom's, I eat lunch about every day here at King Euro's. It's one of my favorite places in Valparaiso. All right, so I got my bag of King Euro here. Oh, there's one more comment I wanted to respond to. I had accusations that I went to Chicago in 8-degree weather wearing a hoodie. Actually, I'm wearing two hoodies. This top hoodie is actually a thicker hoodie. It's got some lining in it, and this is more of a standard hoodie. I have like 8 hoodies of various sizes and thicknesses, so I kind of mix and match depending on the weather. But anyways, let's get to our King Gyro. And surprisingly, I very rarely actually eat gyros here because I love other things on the menu better. This is the ribeye sandwich. And this total meal was about, I think it was about $15. So let me show you this. Get out of the wrapper here. And there we go. It's just a piece of ribeye steak in a roll. It's got onions on it. I think they put some ketchup and mustard as well. So this is a treat here. It's absolutely delicious. And grabbing a steak, it's good that you can go by and get a $10 sandwich. Just a piece of steak on it. And also I got a hot dog. Now this is not technically a Chicago style hot dog, but it has some similarities. See the giant pickle on there. It's missing the tomatoes and sports pepper. It's still got the relish and mustard on it, and it uses the Vienna beef hot dog, which is kind of the Chicago actual sausage used in the hot dog. So, I really love that Vienna beef hot dog here in Chicago. So good. And yeah, other Chicago style hot dog, this isn't quite it, but it's pretty close and pretty good. And we gotta be moving along. So on this trip, I've actually been talking about state welcome centers, and when we entered Indiana from Kentucky, we did not get a welcome center, but here as we're actually leaving to go into Illinois. This is the Welcome Center here along the Lake Michigan portion of Indiana. And this is one of the most fascinating welcome centers. I love the design here. This is meant to represent the state of Indiana, kind of an artistic expression. You have the grain silo, the wood there that would be, you know, in the farmlands of Indiana. You have these steel girders here to represent the steel industry in Indiana. Then you see the hills there, the sandy looking hills represent the dunes along the Lake Michigan shore there. And on the other side of the dunes, as you cross over here, you can actually see the waves of Lake Michigan. So they represent Indiana here from the waves of Lake Michigan, the dunes, to the farmlands. Let's take a look inside. Looking over here, we can see this is the wave portion of the Welcome Center. It looks like they have like a meeting space or convention space in here. And then for some reason, it looks like the Wright brothers plane is up in the sky. And look what we have here. We have the leg lamp from A Christmas Story, a little photo op here. It says A Christmas Story Comes Home, Hammond, Indiana. Now in the movie, they refer to it as Homan, Indiana, but the Gene Shepard, the author of the story, was involved in the movie. He grew up here in Hammond, Indiana. So Homan is derived from the town name of Hammond, Indiana. And we do have some Christmas Story merch here in the gift shop. Oh, I don't even think I've seen these before. These are Christmas Story action figures. You have Ralphie and the old man there. And even have a Christmas Story Halloween costume where you can be the Fragile box. You can even pick yourself up a Daisy Red Ryder BB gun while you're out here in Hammond, Indiana. You can get yourself an Indiana shot glass as well, or a light bulb that says Indiana was lit. You have the South Shore Legends here, a Hall of Fame of people from the shore of Indiana, the shore of Lake Michigan and the surrounding areas. See, there is Gene Shepard, who wrote Christmas Story, and then down here we have Orville Redenbacher. He's actually from Valparaiso, the same town I grew up in. He was famous as a popcorn mogul. And of course, you can't forget Michael Jackson and the Jackson 5, who grew up in nearby Gary, Indiana. And then Sue Hendrickson here was a paleontologist who discovered the T-Rex Sue, which I guess Sue named after the lady that found her. Sue, the T-Rex here, lives in the Field Museum. It's the largest, most complete skeleton of a Tyrannosaurus Rex ever found. Then back outside of the Welcome Center, we have Flick from A Christmas Story famously put his tongue on an icy pole and got it stuck. You can see his tongue is not quite touching the pole there. So this is moments, I guess moments before his tongue would become as fixed to the icy pole. And I guess there's 3 flagpoles here. Flick is attaching himself to the Indiana flag there. So we can see how they are celebrating A Christmas Story here in Hammond, Indiana, which I guess technically is the inspiration for the town in Christmas Story. Normally Cleveland kind of positions itself, Cleveland, Ohio positions itself as the center of the Christmas Story universe. Earlier in this trip, we actually visited the Christmas Story house where they filmed A Christmas Story, but actually there's something of note here in Hammond, Indiana. Now, I'm not going to get up and close or anything, but that right there, as you see, that is Gene Shepherd's boyhood home. So while the movie version of the Christmas Story house is in Cleveland, this is the home that the Christmas Story was based on. This is where Gene Shepherd grew up and experienced the stories that led him to write A Christmas Story. And oddly enough, and then in a weird twist of fate, this is actually, we're in Hammond, Indiana, but this house sits on Cleveland Street. So I guess there is an intrinsic connection between this and the house in Cleveland. And I don't know if you can see it. This is not an official tourist attraction. This is a private residence. But there is a leg lamp there in that top window. We've crossed over the state line. We are now in Calumet City, Illinois. Calumet City, of course, famous for their smiling water towers. You can see that bright and happy pink grinning water tower right there. Stopped off here at Park Forest, Illinois, here at Rail Fan Park. You can see the caboose right there. There is up on that hill is a viewing platform for watching trains. So there is a cloverleaf interchange here on the railway. So this is apparently one of the best places in America to watch trains. There's not a lot of other train enthusiasts here right now, but it is very cold and snowy. There's actually a very long walkway to get here to the top of the viewing platform. All right, gotta head all the way up there. You can see we're outside of Chicago here. You can see all the railroads heading towards Chicago in every possible direction. So apparently a lot of trains intersect in this area. Oh boy, I get up to the top of this viewing platform. Hopefully we actually get a chance to see some trains. All right, so I have a nice little platform here for train viewing. So I guess we just take a seat and wait for the train show. Hopefully. Really do hope some trains show up. It's pretty icy up here. Maybe it's just not train season. Oh man, all the way down this ramp here. Look how far away my car is parked. All right, here comes one. Actually didn't have to wait too long for a train to show up. Oh, look at that. Look at that mighty steel beast crawling along. America. Oh, what a train, what a train. Oh yeah, look how long it is. It just wraps around for miles and miles. And I actually see another train back there on the other side. So yeah, I was really freaked out at first that there weren't going to be any trains, but there does appear to be a lot of trains coming right now. So as much as I would like to just sit here and watch trains go by all night, we gotta be moving along. Also, it is really cold here. Oh, so cold. Oh my goodness. Oh. Ooh, all I can think about is how warm it must be inside the engine of the train. We gotta be moving along. I definitely couldn't travel through this part of Illinois without at least stopping and saying hi to the Gemini Giant, one of the most infamous, probably maybe the most recognizable of all the Muffler men, actually on Route 66 right here. That's Route 66. And the Gemini Giant stands here holding his rocket proudly. Now the Gemini Giant sits here in the parking lot of the Launching Pad restaurant. It's not currently open, but that may just be because it is February. It is February 1st as I am recording this. So it does have a permanent sign there that says open, but it's not open right now, and I don't know, I didn't see any hours or anything on the door, but I guess we'll just have to wait and see if they do open up for this season. I've heard different things, so we'll see. We'll see if it opens up again this spring. I'm not entirely sure what this is on the fence here. It says my marriage vows, final instructions, Apollo's 50th B-Day, and then it says NASA is a fraud. That's, I don't know. You can see all those windmills flickering their lights. Yeah, I don't know if Smiley water towers are an Illinois thing, but they have another one here in Atlanta, Illinois. Yeah, there's something somewhat haunting about being downtown Atlanta, Illinois at night. It's like a little main street frozen in time. This is definitely different than the other Atlanta. You know, the Georgia one. And downtown, right here in the middle of the sleepy little town of Atlanta, Illinois, we have a giant man holding a giant hot dog. Yeah, interesting seeing him lit up at night. You can see his steely gaze there as he holds his massive hot dog aloft. But I recently got a tip that that may not be the only muffler man in Atlanta, that there may actually be a rare indoor muffler man. Yes, here in the hallways next to the restroom we have the severed head of a muffler man. You can see the mural on the wall there with the smiley tower. It says welcome the world with a smile. And this guy here, he says visit my twin in downtown Atlanta. Oh, we actually just did. And it says historic Route 66 is the only spot on the planet where you could take a selfie with a giant holding a hot dog. I'll have to think about that. I'll have to run through my files and see if there's another place where you can take a photo with a giant holding a hot dog. I'll do some research. If anyone remembers, is there anywhere else outside of Route 66 where you can take a selfie with a giant holding a hot dog? Leave a comment in the comment section. But man, this is so big. Like, you don't normally get to see a muffler man eye to eye because they're always towering above you, but like when you get up in his face, it is massive. Look at that. How big his head is compared to mine. It's huge. All right, so we didn't make it all the way to St. Louis tonight, which is okay. The Transworld's going to be happening for the next 4 days, but I figured out we should stop off here in Springfield, Illinois, rather than just driving on all the way tonight. So I'm gonna get a little rest here. Got my hotel room. I'm gonna get in and get this video edited and get a little rest. And then tomorrow we will go the rest of the way to St. Louis. Definitely still looking forward to the big Trans World haunted house trade show. Always have a blast there. Always so much cool stuff. So I'll be looking forward to that. Hope you guys will join me for that. And yeah, if you like these videos, please subscribe. If you'd like to help support the channel, consider donating to Patreon. Also, we have enamel pins and Etsy shop. All that helps keep this train on the track while it's being viewed up here at the viewing platform. Get this boat on the icy waters of Lake Michigan and it's dirigible in the air. Until next time, my friends, this one's in the bag.